Yeah, this music is so relevant right now, right?
No, no one can hear the music. Can anybody hear the music? If you can hear the music, pop it in the comments because we'd love to know. On the first few videos, the music was playing, and that's why we keep doing that. But I think it's only me, isn't it?
I know I could do it then. Even I got it then.
So let me just get this all set up. That's cool. So welcome back. It has been a good hour. We've filled our stomachs a little bit. But if you just take a minute and just share this, so just click on the share. Don't do a watch party, just share it, because then we get to see all the comments that come up, and then we can bring them on the screen and we can all chat about them. If you can subscribe as well, that does wonders. And also, if you watched earlier, Ian Davies has now got a YouTube channel, which is a big thing. And I think that is everything. Just, yeah, make sure you share it. Subscribe, comment. We want to get loads of comments on this one, so if you can, we've got a super interesting hairdresser coming on. Yeah, I met her late last year. I think we met at the same time, didn't we, Ian?
Same time, yeah, same time.
So yeah,
she kind of waltzed into the room like very anonymous, right?
Yeah. So I'll let Ian do the intro.
Okay, so today, like, I am so stoked for this one because we've got Josephine Rosen. So Josephine's really, really laid back. She's quite a shy person, which you would never believe because of her alternative career. She is a guest artist for Tendence in Sweden, who is one of the biggest distributors throughout Europe, one of the best educating groups in Europe as well. She has a celebrity client list as long as your arm. So she's really busy with that. But even better than that, she's also a DJ in Ibiza, and she has a residency at Ushuaia of all places. She plays house, and she does what's the second part, Paul?
The second part,
and she does house and
techno.
Techno, that's it. I don't get the techno bit. I love
house.
Yeah, well, I love house, but I think. But she actually prefers techno, I think. But we can find out more about that in a minute. We met her together. She's like one of the most wonderful women you could meet. A great hairdresser and just an all-round talent. So please get your questions in because she's going to blow your mind with just how amazing she is. So Paul, do your thing.
There she is.
Hello.
Hey.
So, did you like my introduction?
Yeah.
Are you blushing?
Yes.
So, right. So, there's a couple of things we'd like to start off with, always. And first of all, we want to find out. Like, I know you've been with Joico for a few years, and you're with Tendence maybe a year or so. So, first of all, I want to find out how you got to know about Joico, and then how you became part of the Tendence team and how it all progressed for you and how that began.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Sorry?
Over to you.
Yeah. No, but so when I finished the academy, hairdressing academy, I started working with a friend of the family, and she had, because at the academy I worked with Sassoon and Bella and Matrix and whatever. And then at that salon, she had Joico and Bella. And I started getting a lot of new clients, and some of the clients were actually asking for Joico because it's so like good for the scalp and stuff. Like they've been recommended it. So then I started using it and fell in love and just went over.
Really?
Yeah, over time.
So everybody we speak to, nobody gets this. If you're a Joico artist, like you understand, Paul understands, the moment you start using it, compared to any other brand, and they're all great brands, right? But it's unbelievable compared to other brands, right? The way it performs. Did you say?
Yeah. It's like a totally different thing compared to anything else that I've tried, and I tried quite a few.
Yeah.
So.
What were the noticeable differences that you could see almost immediately?
I think it's like the thing I like the most is definitely the quality of when the client leaves and when the client comes back.
Yeah.
And also the allergy aspect, which is quite important for me. Like anything that's good for the client and good for me is a big plus. And also the performance. I'm so sure on what I'm using that I don't have to. I can try new things all the time, and I'm pretty sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. And are you using all of the colors? Vero, Lumishine. Are you using everything, or
yeah, I have the full. I have closets with colors.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and Paul, you're the same, I think, in your salon, right?
Yeah, we use all of it. We use Vero, Lumishine, Chrome. You've got all the grey coverages. It's just amazing. I mean, I've been with Joico. My little story is I was with Joico, God, like 8 years ago maybe, and then my journey took me on a different path, purely down to artistry level and that sort of thing. But I always knew I was going to come back purely because of the healthiness of the colour for the client. So I've been back with Joico now for just over 2 years. And I said on my live, I think it was, that it feels like home as a colour brand. And with everybody, all these lives that we do, everybody is just super cool, on the same wavelength, and has just got this similar vibe that we just give off as Joico users. I don't know if we're attracted to. We were talking about the laws of attraction, and I don't know if like we're attracted to using that color because of the benefits, maybe. But then when all the artists get together, we're all so in tune with each other. Did you find that in Sweden?
Yeah, and and you have so many use as well. Oh, hello.
Daniela, yeah. We love Daniela. Daniela's just amazing.
Yeah,
that's how we met. That's basically how we met, Josephine, through Daniela. Yeah. So I have to say thank you to Daniela for introducing me to you.
Yeah, no, so it's good.
So the thing I remember that when we like Paul was talking about the vibe and everything, is I can remember the day you came into the studio because I think you were visiting Amsterdam and you just came down because you were quite nearby.
I was there for AE.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember. And so you came down to this Helmond to say hi to everybody because there was training going on.
Yeah.
And Daniela was there, right? And you're good friends with Daniela.
Yeah. And Wendy and everyone.
And Wendy, yeah. And then you came in and it was like you were so relaxed anyway, but I was talking to you almost immediately, I think. And you were I can remember you sat by the basins and we were talking when you were sat by the basin. And it was like, do you know you have that connection? Sometimes you just think you've known somebody for like ages.
Yeah.
And I just felt like you had that soul that you're like, oh God, I totally get it with you. And Paul was saying about the vibe of, and I think I had the same with Daniela, I had the same with Wendy. And I think we have the saying, we've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, is that your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah.
And I think all of the Joico artists seem to be the same kind of disposition. We all seem to think the same things and feel the same way mostly. Which is, you know, how is that compared to your experience?
No, it's completely the same. I started first when I met the Swedish team, and everyone is so welcoming and supportive of each other and super duper talented. And no one's really like taking over. Everyone has their own quality and their own thing. And the same when I came and met you guys, it was the same thing. You each have your own qualities and everyone's just friendly and happy, and it just picks up the brand too, I think.
Yeah,
I think
definitely that.
Because we met, I think I was on lunch because I was going to be doing the colour on 3D next, and we were just chatting. But like Ian said, we were just like chatting, and it did seem like I'd already known you. But I think the mutual love for like music and like you being what we'll get onto in a bit, a DJ, I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm a closet DJ at heart. I would love to do it. I've like since school, I've had like vinyl decks, and then I was using MP3 mixer. Now I use a controller. So like,
so you've been doing it for longer than me then.
how long have you been DJing?
For like 9 years.
9. Yeah, I've been DJing about 20.
Yeah.
Really?
But not at any level. Like,
clearly not.
Oh, yeah, clearly. But I didn't get like beat matching until probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
I just wondered why.
So you've been DJing for 4 years.
Yeah. And nowhere big. Literally this room, and then I DJ'd my sister's engagement party. That was my biggest gig.
That was your biggest gig.
That's pretty big. A lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Josephine in the studio saying, so, like, do you do weddings?
Yeah.
Who said that? You said that.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was getting married. I said,
Yeah.
do weddings then or what? I was like, what a stupid question. I said,
but it's fun. It's
yeah,
fun.
I know. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I get it. I was having fun at the same time, but it was like, yeah, it was a rude question, really. But I said it.
Weddings are fun, but it's.
And I said, how much do you charge? And you told me, and I said, hey, how about mates rates? And you said, that is mates rates. I was like, wow. So I remember coming home and telling my fiance we'd met, and she's like, oh my God, I wish we had so much money we could afford to have her play at our wedding. So that was the whole thing. And I said, we got to go to Ibiza. So that was a kind of a cool, and I remember that day really clearly. But then since then, you've become established now as, in the Tendence Joico family and in Joico Europe as a whole. And you've done that in quite a short space of time. I think that is fair to say. But you're not just a colorist, right? So you do pretty much all aspects. So do you want to explain what it is you do as a hairdresser? All the things you do, because I know you cover all the bases.
Yeah. So in Sweden, pretty much a lot of the good hairdressers, they do all parts. They do cutting, color, and styling. And I also do makeup, and I'm a barber as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just really like learning. So it's hard to draw the line of where to stop.
Yes, yeah.
Doing education and like getting the education yourself as well. So I do, obviously the makeup and all of that is really good for I do a lot of photo shoots and videos and movie stuff outside of the salon too.
So how did that come about then? How did you get involved in the sort of media side of it with films and photo shoots and stuff?
I have no idea. We have a saying in Sweden that you slip in on a banana peel. And I actually have a banana peel tattooed onto my foot.
No way.
That's how I became a DJ. I was just booked for something. I had no idea what to do. And then that's how I became a hairdresser. I just started the academy, and like I just thought about it for a little bit and went to the interview and got in. And the Tendence team, they just asked me, and I wasn't prepared, but just if you say yes, then it just happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So is that what your philosophy then? Is it all about saying yes to opportunities?
Yeah, never say no, because you're being asked for a reason. And if you have doubts, you can still talk about them. And yeah.
This is like a perfect segue from when we were talking to Brandon earlier, Paul, right?
Yeah.
Because you were saying the same thing, many people don't get to where they are because they either don't put themselves out there or they don't feel confident enough to say yes. Have you ever felt the same way? Have you ever had those those nerves?
Oh, all the time. I'm about to pee my pants. Because I say yes, and I'm like, oh, why did I do this? It's the same with everything. It's like the first gig, first time I went on stage, when I first joined the Joico team, you doubt yourself. You never know if you're good enough.
Yeah.
But the worst thing that can happen is that you learn a lot in a short amount of time.
Definitely. And that's the biggest part of it. So like my philosophy has always been say yes. If I don't know how to do it, I'll learn how to do it. Because if it's my journey and where I want to get to, why would I say no? Why would anybody say no if what someone's proposing to you is your next step?
You never know.
I know. So this is a good thing for everybody watching. Like, I don't think I've ever said no in hairdressing, shall I say. I've said no in plenty of other things, but that obviously wasn't my journey. My journey has been this. So I've just said yes, 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 yes. And this is what it does. I end up working with Ian.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I apologize now. I had a similar experience, is that when I was a partner in another business, before I had my own business, we were asked by a PR company to do the hair and makeup for the MOBO Awards, which is the music of Black origin. So it's all like, Black artists, basically. I have never done Afro hair in my life. And I've just never professed to do it. I'm sure I could do it. But my partner, myself at the time, the business partner, we said, yeah, we're going to do it. And he said he wanted to do it. And we did it for 4 years. We did the hair makeup for it. Yeah. And it was like a cool thing. And I was like, how are we going to do it? He said, don't worry. I know somebody who specializes in Afro. We'll take them and we look after everybody else. So my day was really easy. And we were just doing all the presenters and stuff back in the green room and stuff. It was really a great learning experience. But that's when I learned for the first time, really, that to say yes to something and then work it out and I can work a way to do it, So that was kind of a cool thing. So I had the same experience, but those fears sometimes are overwhelming, aren't they? They kind of like can pull you under, or they can make you feel insecure. But, and I think most artists, like a lot, you talked about musicians, singers, they all are very nervous, shy people, and they put them on stage and they come into that's when they live. Yeah. But in real life, they maybe are very nervous people, but having a support around you, whether it be professional support or like in the Joico team, we have all of the team. And I remember working my first time with Daniela I actually babysat, apparently, Daniela on her first job in Finland. And I was just blown away by, number one, how fast she was and the results she could get, from nothing. I was just like, I can remember messaging Wendy and Danielle back at head office saying, this girl is insane. She does everything, and there was no kind of like complications. There was no drama. She just did it, and she had to. This is yeah. It was just amazing what she was able to do.
But imagine me. I've been sitting and watching her for years.
Yes. The
educations and stuff, and then I'm like, I can't do that.
Did you actually think that?
I never. This is the first time I'm going live. I've never talked on stage. Like, I said hi once.
I said hi once.
But what about when you're
this is amazing.
That's what I mean. I've said hi once.
What on like when you were DJing? You just said and then did it.
Like, hey. Once, never did it again.
Why not?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh my God.
Well, that's the good thing about techno. You don't have to talk a lot. It's mostly the house part where you have to talk a little bit, or maybe should.
I always like when I after meeting you and I came back, I was obviously found on his social media, and I'm like, just what does she do? And then I found the clip of you in Ushuaia with like a sea of people, and it was like, the power in music and in a DJ that knows what they're doing to completely own that crowd.
Mm.
And I was like, this is insane. I mean, do you experience that when you're up there, when you're there and you know you're just pulling all the strings and everybody's reacting to what you were doing and playing? I mean, are you aware that at that time?
Well, you're in there with them, so not really. Like if they are having fun, you're having fun. If they're having a shit time, then you are too. And it's just like the energy just goes around. You don't realize what you're doing, and then you see the clips after, and you're like, "Oh, I want to do it again."
Seriously. So and at that point, like, yeah, you kind of like, yeah, you seem to be very in control and very. You seem very confident, but then you're telling us that you're not so confident. So how do those two things come together?
I mean, I might not be like a comfortable person, and but I'm confident, but I don't like to take up a lot of space. I think I'm confident in what I'm doing. I know that I can do hair. I know that I can play music and those sort of things.
Yeah.
And but putting yourself out there, it's not. I think you're the same. Like you're not raised to take a lot of space, and we're quite humble here in Sweden and in the UK as well.
Yeah, we not being very British, and obviously I didn't know this about Sweden. I thought you were like full on party. To be honest, like the Scandinavians, I thought they just had this sort of like level vibe of partying. But
maybe it's the issue that I don't drink.
Don't you drink?
No, never, ever.
Oh, we definitely can be friends. I don't drink. I'm like pretty much teetotal. So yeah, we can be friends.
I've been all my life. I never tried it. Yeah.
I think the first time I ever had a drink, actually, one of my very good friends has just joined the Mandy St. John, her name. She's like, we've known each other since I was about 16. So we go back like 40 years, and she's known me better. She probably knows me better than anybody. But in the days when we first met, I never drank, and I didn't think I had my first ever try of a drink when I was about 25, and I didn't really like it. And because I didn't like it, I just didn't carry on with it. I just drink soft drinks. But I have been drunk because it doesn't take a lot. But I'm not a fan of drinking. But Mandy, saying what you're saying, she has a particular talent, and she deals in property and in interior, and she is just like phenomenal what she does in making these houses look like show homes, and just creating this vibe. You want to go and live in one of her houses. I don't know how she does it. It's incredible. But only recently has she actually been putting herself out there to do it. Because I don't know whether it was like a confidence thing or she didn't want to push herself out. But she just and now she is sought after by everybody, Not like you then, Paul. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I like a drink.
Yeah. And I think that's what they kind of like. She's one of those people that's so good in her own space, but then doesn't want to put that outside of her own space. And I feel the same about my hairdresser. I'm really comfortable with what I do in the salon and outside on the stage or whatever. But this is really challenging for me to do, but I'm enjoying it. But it's something was a big step. And having met Paul, I know he says yes. And I said, well, I have to take the same thing and say, yes, let's do it. And now I say yes to everything,
It's why we did it though, isn't it? Because we had, like you did, Josephine, like when we were talking over Instagram and you were building up for your live for Norway. Was it Norway or Sweden?
For what?
You were building up doing your live. Well, it wasn't, it was getting the filming, the highlights and all that sort of thing you were doing.
Was it when I did the recording stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like clips for the Facebook and YouTube and stuff for Yorka Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were talking about that, and I was doing my live soon, and we were both sort of saying like, "Oh my God, like, do you get nervous doing it and all this sort of thing?" And this is why me and Ian sort of linked up doing this, and why you could easily do more is because we had lives coming up. I hadn't done many lives, but I'd already sort of felt a little bit comfortable on camera. with doing the YouTube thing. And then Ian was like, "Oh God, I've got a live in like, was it a week or two?"
Yeah,
And I said, "Mate, let's do it. Let's go live. We'll do an Instagram live." And no, me and you went live first, didn't we? Just as a bit of a practice.
Yeah.
And then it's turned into this. So it's like you'll do this as your first live, and then you'll get like you'll be coming off stage, maybe not walking out of a Schweier, but you'll like finish this and you'll be like, "Oh, cool. I want to do another one," and then another one, and then it just becomes like I look forward to Mondays and Fridays now because I know I'm going to be connecting with different people.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been. And it's been, we've just made it up as we've gone along. Really, there are no rules, right?
Well, as long as you have great company, it's easy, I think.
Yeah. Somebody described it as me and Paul having a bromance together.
Yeah,
definitely a bromance going on.
Yeah, it's kind of like but I think that's kind of, I don't know. It's just when I was first to book to a live, I agreed to do the live for Joico Europe only because I suffer with FOMO.
Yeah.
So I suffer with fear of missing out because everybody else is doing them, and I thought, wow, I really don't feel comfortable doing it, but I've got to do it because I'm missing out, and I didn't want to be that guy who was missing out, and that kind of made it more like I had to say, come on, let's just do it. So, Cecilia, she's cool. So I did it, and actually, it was the best thing I did because it took me outside my comfort zone, and I've learned a lot from it. And like then we got to do these, and you know we've stuck at doing them, and we've connected with so many people now throughout Europe and interesting whatever. But the thing that I think that I wanted to get onto is like, how do you manage your diary? Because you have this side view, which you have your DJ side, you have the salon, you have your guest artist with Tendenz, and then you've got the DJ side. So how do you juggle that diary? How do you manage to work that, and how do your clients respond to that?
Well, it's quite difficult because I'm booked so far in advance, but I'm 50% at the salon.
Yeah,
and
50.
50, yeah. And I do 1 day a week. I'm booked for Joico Sweden, and sometimes there's nothing and it gets cancelled, and sometimes it's a few days in a row. And then I do so the salon is just Monday through Friday, and the stuff I do for like video and movie and all of that stuff is usually on the weekend.
Right.
Sometimes I have to like scoot people around and maybe work a weekend at the salon to be able to do a few days during the week for another project. But it's usually if people have some time ahead to schedule, then it's easier. And then I always do, obviously New Year's is usually a lot of shows, and end of March, beginning of April, I always go to the Miami Music Festival. And
as you do.
Yeah, as you do. And I go home for a week and then go back to LA to do Coachella, and then.
Oh my God, we were just talking about that today. We were just talking about Coachella today, yeah.
I haven't played yet, but it's important to be there, I think. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I always do 2-3 months during the summer in Ibiza for the past. This was going to be the 9th year.
Oh, God. That's
seriously.
Yeah.
How long does the season last for you there?
Well, the season is like May through September, but I'm usually there. I can't be away for that long. So I usually do, either I do 2.5 months in one go, like June, July, beginning of August, and maybe go back on the weekends if there's a good show. or I do 3 months with like a little break in the middle to go back and look after some clients, and then go back.
Wow.
And it's ADE in the autumn. Yeah.
I love
So
that.
are you really?
Those I'm always off.
Are you really organized? Are you like an organized person generally?
Yeah, I have OCD, major OCD.
So
my bags are always packed with different things, and I have lists like the music list, the hairdressing list, and the private travel, hot or cold. Yeah, so I just follow those.
seriously, that is like, yeah, pretty. Like, that must be hard to manage, and it's a full-time job anyway. Do you have a PA?
No,
You.
no, but I use my husband's sister a lot. She's like my agent / my booth bitch / comes along with me a lot.
Yes, she is. I like that.
So she's like a lot of my fans, like people who go to a lot of shows, they will recognize her, and they even know her Instagram to tag her and stuff.
Seriously.
Yeah, she gets like proposals when she's sitting in the booth with me.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's very beautiful too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And what is she on? Sorry. What is she on Instagram again? So I can write this down.
he's a one, old Ian. So we were just talking about like when you do all your shows, and like, so all the summer you've got Miami, LA, Ibiza, and then in New Year's in December you'll be like booked up as well. But December just gone, you did something like amazing. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so I've been working a lot with a lot of the Swedish artists, and obviously everything happened with Avicii, and we did a big charity concert, Avicii tribute show, and we had I just have to look, 58,163 people.
Wow.
So, and I got to really combine everything, because I got to do the music for when the doors opened, like I did the music for when everyone arrived, and then we had some DJs playing, and then I did the music in between, and then we had all the live artists, and then I organized together with a lot of the people from the Swedish Joico team, and also some other colleagues and friends of mine. And we did all the glam for all the artists backstage, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I so wish I'd come.
Yeah.
I can't.
You were invited.
I know I was invited. I mean, I had this conversation with my fiance this morning. I said, do you know what? For the life of me, I don't know why I said no. Why there was something that came up, but I couldn't do it. And I was like,
just talking about that.
And I said, well, why on earth did I not just postpone it and just come over and do it? And I can't imagine what it was that made me feel that I missed out on that opportunity. I was like, and then Daniela, she came and did it with you.
Daniela was there, yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. I was like, don't tell me, I don't need to know, you know? It was like crazy, but it was like, that was 58,000 people there then, yes?
Yeah, and we had about 70 people to get ready. It was like 25 singers, it was band members, it was DJs, it was steaming pans to like doing glam and hair and everything. Yeah, we were 10 people for like a full day. Right,
okay. So that was the gig. You told me I probably wouldn't have to do very much in anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously we do the big glam stuff in the morning. The show was at night, so they were there for rehearsals. So I told them approximately when they should arrive. Like so it was a lot of males, which don't take that long. And the females that took a little bit longer, I had to just like kind of schedule, but you never know with artists anyway.
You basically had a list, one of your lists.
Well, I didn't make too much of a list, just like an approximate one. Otherwise, it's going to be ruined, and then I'll go crazy.
Don't stick to your own list. So is there any more plans to do anything like that again then for you?
Well, hopefully the hope is to be able to do that show around the world, but yeah, we'll see what's going to happen with that.
And where might be the round the world be? What type of venues you're looking at?
I don't know. I don't have the list.
Are you going to come to the UK?
Probably.
Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't mind, you're definitely going to be a part of it.
Yes.
So,
that's emphatic, yes.
Are you going to do it like same date every year? So, like, obviously, it was a tribute.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No,
it's up to the guys who run the foundation.
Okay, cool.
What acts did you have on? Like big names did you have on the tribute act?
We had, I have to remember. We had Aloe Black. We had Audra May. We had Amanda Wilson. We had Mishkat. We had
Rita Ora.
Rita Ora. We had Adam Lambert. We had a lot of names.
My God, that's like serious stuff.
Because it was on YouTube, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, it might still be. I don't know if they've taken it down yet.
I think it is still on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
look amazing.
Really cool.
So cool. Yeah. When it comes to the UK, me and Ian will look after Rita Ora.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll create some extra value by we'll vlog it for you. We'll interview everybody for you as well.
We'll do backstage.
We'll do all the backstage, run it all for you. No problem. We'll have a booth set up. We'll do the hair and interview them at the same time. So we kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
So what's not to like, you know? So no. So you, like I said, you do stick to your lists and you do stick to stuff. So in the future, where do you see yourself in the next, I don't know, because you say you tend to slip into things. So in the next sort of 2 years, what's your short term, your medium term, maybe your long term goals or where you are? What do you think they may look like?
I don't know. It's difficult because I never thought that I was gonna do music. I didn't think that I was gonna do hair. It just kind of happened. But obviously I worked with Richard in September here in Stockholm.
What was that like for you, Richard?
Well, it was my first like official job that I did for Joico Sweden. And then like the day before, he told me he wanted me on stage with him.
Or the day before?
Yeah, the day before. I was like, well, okay, I'm not prepared, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. And I can't say no. So yeah, I did. And luckily, I didn't need a mic because I didn't have to talk. Except I did say one word.
Hi.
We did this. I don't know if you've seen it, the ponytail that stands kind of like anti-gravity ponytail. Yeah. And we tried it on one of the girls in the Swedish team, Frida. And it was late, I was tired, and I was giggly, and I said, haha, it's a boner tail. He asked me to repeat that on stage, which was very flattering.
So we've got Richard on Friday.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll bring that up again, that story. We've got a good little story.
Yeah. So tell us about the boner tail. I like that. So Danielle did that job with you as well, did she? I think.
Yeah,
did she speak as well on platform?
Yeah, she told everyone about the colors that we did and all the applications and ratios and stuff.
Yeah,
that's like her specialty.
Yeah, well, you know, but I can remember Danielle was very nervous when she first came on board, and she always, like we said it earlier on with Brandon, is that people are always their own worst critics. You'll always criticize yourself more than anybody else will criticize you. And Daniela was very hard on herself, even when she did a great job. She was always hard on herself. And I think I'm sensing you do the same thing. You're probably one of your biggest critics. Is that something that you learned? What's that?
I just never look back. Because if I do and I start criticizing, then I don't think it would continue.
Really? Is it that? So you never look back at something you've done and think that was amazing. You just don't look at it.
I mean, pictures are fine, but videos are horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's only, like, we all feel like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, again, like with this, with Scandinavian and with the Brits, we're just very we're not like the Americans, is the easiest way to put it. Like, the Americans are very much, they're just, they love it.
Yeah.
They love being up on stage. They love giving it, probably not everybody, but definitely a higher percentage than what live sort of in around Europe, would you say?
Yeah.
And with videos, I mean, with Ian now, I don't know if you know, Ian's got a YouTube channel, but like,
have we not mentioned it yet?
Not yet, no. And like, his first video went up today, and my first video I look back on, and you're just like, oh my god, like, it's cringy. I probably looked back at a video 2 months ago, and I think, oh, it's so cringy, but it's a really good way to document growth. And you don't really like looking at it, but don't look at it as in the way that you're critiquing yourself, as like, oh, you sound stupid, or just look at it as how far you've come. And that's what I use my social media for, like a visual diary.
Yeah.
Is a bit of advice. Like, I hate filming. I do.
You?
Hate it. But I realise I have to do it. I keep saying this. By 2021, 81% of marketing and communications is going to be video. So, like, if you're not doing it, you're going to be part of a very small percentage when it comes to future networking events and communications. So, like, just like you're doing, like, this is amazing. If this is the first time you've done a live, just keep doing it. Like, we'll have you on again, and we'll dedicate an hour to something else.
Yeah,
but
you can just play a set for us. You can do a set for us for an hour.
Yeah, let's do live music.
Yeah.
So you guys do hair and I'll do the music.
And you've got to say more than hi. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, more than hey. Yeah.
That'd be a good way of doing it.
So sorry, mate. You also do like celebrity hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is something we haven't really touched on with any of the artists which have come on here. Yeah, we haven't. And you were saying something really interesting before this, like about pictures and all that sort of thing. And again, being in that world, celebrity world, they're being papped and taken pictures of and filmed all the time. But tell us what you were saying before we came on here.
I just think it's like, even if it's online on Instagram or whatever, just like taking pictures and like boosting yourself. And I'm quite a private person, and I really value the privacy of the clients. It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. So I'm not the one that's gonna post the first picture. So, but I love it when they post and I can share it. And or if it's for like a show or a photo shoot or a music video or as a film or something like that, that it's a lot easier to share it when it's like official work. But it's quite difficult. Like, I would never ask to take a picture, even if they're good friends.
Do they give off a vibe as to be like, I love my hair, but just don't take a picture? Do they? Or if you said,
I've never been put in that situation, so I wouldn't know.
but then why not? Because obviously the way that social media is growing so much, and you growing as an artist for Joico and your profile, like, it's massive. And in the UK, is probably, well, Instagram in the UK with Instagram hairdressers, if you like, is going through the roof. Not that I really support that side of things. I do think that you should be showing off your talent, what you're doing in the salon.
Yeah. But it's usually not in the salon, actually. A lot of the times it's different places, like in Ibiza or... Yeah, because if it's a lot of music people, then they are where I am. So I usually, everyone's asking like, oh, did you bring your scissors?
Oh, amazing. So then I'd be like, yeah.
They owe you. They owe you then in that case.
Yeah.
I brought them. Just, you need to have a picture just to show us hanging out. I think there's like, I was probably where you were 20 years ago, before there was social media, before there was that big cream. But at the time, I was on TV at home. I did a TV show, which I kind of felt really awkward about doing. I loved it. I loved every minute of it, but I found it very awkward. When people, you go to, it was local. I live in Wales, there's 3 million people here, but I could go to the local shop and somebody would recognize, oh, you're that guy who does the hair on telly. And that kind of was weird. But then because of that, I was being asked to do some hair for some of the celebrities that came to Cardiff and stuff like that. And I ended up doing it. And I'd always take my camera to have a picture. And I never asked, can I have a picture? Because I always got too embarrassed. Oh, no, they wouldn't want that. Because I seemed to get on with them okay, did the hair really nice, they were really happy, and and then I left, and I was like, oh, that was really nice. And I said, oh, I didn't like to ask for a picture. I just felt it was intruding. But actually, in today's thing, I probably would just do it. I would probably say, oh, would you mind have a picture now? But where you were, I felt the same. I was intruding that step beyond. But that was more about my fear than the vibe they were giving off, because they were always very nice people.
But I also keep forgetting, to be honest.
Okay. I didn't forget. I just literally was like, no, I think I'm overstepping the mark. So, that's where I was with it. So that's kind of the hardest thing I think I found with it. But, and I think you've got to take, I remember talking to somebody about opportunities, about, I worked for a company before I worked for Joico. And I was there for quite a while. I worked for them for about 8 or 9 years. And then I had to take a sabbatical because my personal circumstances changed. I got divorced and I needed time in the business and so on and so forth. And I spent 2 or 3 years in the business, just make sure the business was okay. And then when I decided to want to get back into the education and work on platform, nobody wanted to know. Like, the opportunities were all being filled. People had taken your spot. There was no way back. And it was really difficult. And I remember it was out of the blue that I got contacted by Joico in 2011. And it was by pure coincidence that one of the people who worked in Joico head office in LA, or just outside of LA, in Arcadia, they used to work for the company I used to work for, which is an American-based company as well. And when the global education manager, a lady called Missy Majeha, who then was looking after Joico, knew this, she messaged her to find out did she know anything about me, and she did. And I was actually shocked that she remembered who I was, but she did. And she said, yeah, you've got to have this guy on the team. So I literally 2 days later had an email saying, you're in, and that was my thing, because I was already vouched for by somebody I'd already worked with that was within the company. But I think that since then, I've been really, really appreciative of the opportunity, if you know what I mean, because you realize they're rare, they don't come along very often. And then as long as you do whatever you can to promote the brand, my message is always brand first. I'm just like the vehicle that carries the information. When I worked at the other brand, it was me first, and then the information I sort of towed along. But that was I didn't really do that well with that brand. But now that I've learned to be more projecting, it's all about the information. A bit like you really sit back behind your DJ stand and kind of project to the crowd. I project to the seminar, the audience, or whatever. But I try to remain back, and I think I feel more comfortable in that position rather than trying to be something I'm not. If that makes sense. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So I think that was. What do you think, Paul? What's your take? But I think the opportunities are rare, and you've got to really, I think, look after them when they do come along, and you've got to, and then want to see people like Paul. When Paul joined, we just got on, and then I want him to do well. I want him to be good. I want him to climb. I want him to be well thought of. And I think you can never put yourself forward by pulling somebody else back. Do you know what I mean? I just don't get that mentality, And I think my dad always says you can never do wrong by doing right. So as long as you try to do the right thing all the time, you can never be wrong. You can only do things right by doing the right things, and wanting people to achieve things, I think, for the right reasons is kind of where I sit. Like, I'm a different generation to you, I'm a different generation to Paul, and I've got that experience. And I think only now do I value the experience I've got, which over the last 2 or 3 years, really. And I said to Brandon, I'm comfortable in my own space now. And I can look in the mirror and I'm okay. I feel all right. But the opportunities, and like where you are, you will see growth. I have no doubt. You will grow, and you will, because you've already done so much. So you can only really get even more experience, even more better at what you're doing, really. And then you grow, and then you get better, and then you stand in that space really comfortable. Do that make sense?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. Growing. When you stop growing, you stop doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I'm with Paul, who's like 100 miles an hour every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I get messages every day. Are we going to do this? Should we do that? I've seen this. Look at this. There's a link. And I love that, because it's really reinvigorated what I do. But hopefully what I bring is that experience to help us in other ways. And I think that's why we make a pretty good team. So who's your team? Who's the person that brings it to you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, obviously I have Daniela, and I have Frida, and everyone on the Swedish team, and Cecilia, who you also met who was also in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But Wendy, who's awesome.
But who do you kind of like, who's your go-to person that you think that I am aligned with that person? And maybe not even in the hairdressing industry, but just generally, you have that vibe with, that connection. Is there anybody you have that you really rely on and you bounce your ideas off?
My mom.
Oh, really?
Also a hairdresser. So
oh my God, really?
Used to have, she was asked to have my position at Joico when she was my age.
No way.
Because then me and my sister came.
Right.
So yeah, I bounced everything off her.
That's
basically.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Paul, who's your kind of go-to?
Industry as well.
Right. Yeah, that's so important, isn't it? Yeah. Because you've done so much. Because you've done so much, and you've worked with some incredible people.
Yeah, mate. Literally anybody that will listen. Like like you said, I'm 100 miles per hour all the time. I have ideas that just pop into my head, and I'm like, I need to tell somebody this. And like Jess, I'll say to her, and she's like, yeah, like sort of like, you told me 4 ideas a second ago, sort of thing. But I don't know what, like, I've learned to write them down now. Like, I think that is something which is becoming more intuitive in what I do, that I tend to write down a lot more processes now. Yeah. But I mean, mate, with you, like in this lockdown, I've been bouncing ideas off of you. Again, my mum, my dad, my sister. Probably my sister. She's like a big, like my sister's sort of. So she's got her own business. She's got a dance studio in the back of my salon. She'll ask me some things, and I'll ask her things, and I'll say, "Oh, what do you think to this?" Or when I film a video and I edit it, I'll send it to like the family group, and I'm like, right, hit me with it. Like, what's cringy, what isn't? Jess is like full on, I can't watch them. And my family are like, oh, I like that bit. That's a little bit controversial. It's like, good, I'll keep that. But yeah, like, again, family, friends, clients.
You have different people depending on what sort of feedback that you want, I think. Because I asked you about the video that I did.
Yeah.
Okay. And I talked a lot to Cecilia and Daniela as well about like different things that we can do with Joico and that sort of thing. But it depends on
circumstances.
What you're doing, I suppose, yeah. And you don't want to be coming across a fool. And I think that is the whole thing with going live. Pressing that button and going live is one of the scariest things ever at the beginning, because it's like, oh, what negative feedback are you going to get? And all you're literally thinking of is what people think. And as soon as you realise, or you just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if somebody says, like, what you're wearing.
But I think this forum is a bit more friendly than the music one.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Because we have so many nice comments and people are tuning in and like really
supportive.
Yeah, really supportive. And when you do the Instagram lives, you get a lot of like applause and hearts and all of that stuff. But I think it depends on what forum you're in.
So music, you'd get a little bit more negativity on the music side.
I've had some, yeah. But I've never had it when it comes to hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I can't. That's blown my mind. I thought music would be similar to hair. I'd be honest. I thought it'd be the same people. You know, the same. Because actually, music is even more tribal than hair, isn't it? Because if you vibe with actually tribe, then the style of music you like, you're definitely going to watch a DJ. Like I said to Paul, I know she does house. What's the other one? It's like techno, and I know you prefer the techno though, Josephine, right?
It depends on what day of the week. It's like, do you prefer full bleach or highlights?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in the mood for one or the other. Okay. Like house is a lot of fun and you can like dance around and act a fool, and like techno is a little bit more cool, but it's like gives you this little feeling and vibrations inside that is very, very different. It's harder to do techno.
I'm yet to experience that with techno, and I'm just like, I kind of switch off to it. I just don't get it, I suppose. I don't know what that, it just isn't my thing. But anything house.
Thanks. I'll show you.
Anything house, though, I'm like, love this. Come on. I just love that vibe, I think. And so I'm always attracted to that type of thing. And I think that, so I'm really surprised that you get more negative comments, especially if people are there for that type of thing, you know. So I kind of get that. So we've got about 2 minutes left, I think, Paul. It says there, yeah.
Yeah.
Has any other questions come in or anything?
We've literally just had like so much love for Josephine. Like it's like hard.
Yeah, no.
It's all just been 100% love. So amazing.
Yeah, it's hard not to though.
Yeah.
So,
but
you're going forward then, Josephine. You're still very much a Joico artist. You're still going to be after the lockdown and after we come out of this. Have you got any big plans coming up? Like, are you going to go? Will you play as part of the end of a season maybe in Ibiza? Are you just gearing up ready for next year? What are you doing?
I think I think everything is put on hold because I was going to do a lot of shows here in Sweden, like hair shows.
Yeah.
And obviously the Ibiza thing, and everything has just been cancelled so far. A couple of things have been moved to later on this year, but it's probably going to be cancelled as well.
Yeah.
Because we have the academy to think about as well.
Well, of course. Yeah.
So to get things going again, it's going to be difficult. But hopefully I get to do some shows. Hopefully I get to maybe work with you guys in real life and not over the computer.
100%.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. We're going to make that happen. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Look at all the
All the love.
I think that one's for me.
Yeah, my dad.
So I think that's, yeah, look, that's amazing, right? CC, I love CC. So my wedding got cancelled. So so actually we've rearranged it.
New dates. I'll be there.
Yeah, all right. So it's going to be in July next year.
Yeah.
I thought you said I was DJing.
Yeah, you're just act. I just had a better offer. 24th of July next year is we've hired.
My birthday.
Is the what? How long?
My birthday is on the 25th, so it will be easy for me to remember.
Okay, well, your birthday will be on a Sunday next year, and it's actually it's 2 days after my birthday because I'm on 22nd. So you're a Leo. You're a Leo.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused about because Leos are really quite strong people, and you're kind of like very shy. You're more like a Cancerian, like me, really. But I'm not going to go into that. So we get married on 24th of July. We've hired a castle by the coast. It looks really cool. We've just hired a saxophonist for the day today because we want this Ibiza vibe.
Yeah.
I wonder if any DJs I might know. Not you. Put your hand down.
You're back to back, Paul.
That'd be cool.
Back.
That'd be cool. You come do back to back. Paul can warm us up, and then you can get us all going. Paul's like the warm up.
No, I'll come on when you're all drunk. No one will know.
No.
It's going to be like, yeah. So we've had to rearrange everything. We've kind of like, and Lisa's just decided we were trying to go away in Croatia and get married and do it cheaply, and just trying to save money. But she sod it. We're just going to go for it this time, and so it's going to be a big wedding. So it's like over 100 guests already. It's crazy.
Nice.
So it'll be fun. So I'm definitely going to hook up with you on that and twist your arm, Josephine, to come over.
No worries. You don't have to twist it.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. Amazing. Especially we've got the saxophonist there. She's going to be blowing everybody away, literally. So Danielle's nice to see you. That's pretty cool. What's that?
What's her name?
Do you know what? I can't remember. But she has a Swarovski encrusted saxophone. Sarah, yes.
Sarah Sachs.
Sarah Sachs, that's who it is. We've hired her today.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
She plays in a bar where I go in Kettering.
Is she good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got her. We booked her today.
Amazing.
Yeah. So could you play along to her? You know, could you two like work with it?
Yeah, I've like triangle, like ding.
It's like me with maracas.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that we've gone over our time. Josephine, it's been an absolute pleasure. Always is. Can't wait to see you in person again.
Yeah, great to see you.
Do the best hugs ever. So I can't wait for one of those. It's just been fantastic to catch up with you and looking forward
to having me.
Absolute pleasure. So yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Bye and take care. See you.
Bye.